why mother tongue is not a medium of instruction in the education system of India. Part 1. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has announced that all school students in the state of West Bengal will have to study 3 languages, one of which must be Bangla. Currently, most of the so-called good schools in the state that are inevitably Anglophonic not only do not include Bangla as one of the languages, they take the liberty to penalize students if they are reported to use their mother tongue inside the school premise. Use of 3 languages is consistent with the decision of central government language policy, which was never meant to be implemented, lest it stands in the way of total and widespread English domination. Mamata Banerjee's declaration is at best a half-hearted attempt to prevent marginalization of Bangla and shield it from pernicious influence of English. It is also a gesture of respect for one's mother tongue. In the current socio-political environment where 5% Anglophonic minority, whom Anna Hazare branded as Kala Angrez, in a total population of 130 crore or 1.3 billion, is not only dominating but has marginalized indigenous language and culture. Ministerial declaration, though, will not make any difference in revitalizing the status of indigenous language, yet the gesture of Mamata Banerjee government may be interpreted as an attempt to kindle sense of self-respect and sense of glory in self-identity that is long lost through English schooling and Anglophonic domination. This gesture shows that sense of self-respect and glory in self-identity is alive in the current political leadership of Bengal. Let us hear the Chief Minister's version. During the last 70 years, despite total domination of Anglophonic culture, that is Angrezi, and Anglophonic system, that is Angreziyat, only 5% of the population are able to express their thoughts in English. Yet, without English, one cannot earn a decent living, access higher education, follow court proceedings, submit official application, handle banking, deal with hospital services, read medical instruction, or even to get vocational training, one needs English. In other words, 95% of the population are simply denied access to all essential functions in economic life and government offices, which are exclusively administered and conducted in the interest of and language of 5%. Needs of the rest 95% are not a consideration. They do not seem to even exist in the calculation of the Anglophonic, that is Kala Angrez ruling class. During the last 150 years, until 1947, about 100,000 white-skinned British were physically present in India and ruled 35 crore or 350 million South Asians using English as the official state language. How are things different today for the population? In 70 years, less than 5% has absorbed English as a language. At this rate, it will take 1,400 years for the rest of the population to participate and communicate in the society that is designed to function for minority. This shows that core of the socio-economic system of India is a fraud, a deception, and a hoax in the name of democracy. Question may be asked, of all the topics in the world, why bother about language? Because it is one of the most important elements of effective schooling that shapes the quality of human resource, which in turn determines the role of a nation in the world civilization. 300 years ago, contribution of about 30% of the world GDP was made by India. Civilized world of that time came to Indian universities to study technology and fine arts. That was made possible because of the nature of its indigenous schooling. Medium of instruction in that kind of schooling could never have been a totally unrelated foreign language spoken by 5% of the population. Language of schooling is to facilitate two things, among others. One, absorption of a given subject matter, and two, expression of information already absorbed. Hence, schooling for Aam Aadmi can only be effective only and only if the medium of instruction in the school is in the language of Aam Aadmi, aimed at facilitating absorption of any given subject matter. Education based on mother tongue is the single most important catalyst for innovation. It is tempting to ask why all immortal Indian educationists, without exception, always advised in favor of using mother tongue as a medium of instruction at all level of education to ensure better absorption of a given subject matter. They also fully supported learning of a second and third language to communicate to the world what is absorbed through mother tongue. It is precisely for this reason all developed countries in the world who has contributed most in the field of technological innovation without any exception use mother tongue as a medium of instruction and multiple other languages to communicate what is absorbed. 150 crore people of India and other third world countries whose Anglophonic education system is based on scavenging on the leftovers of Anglo-American West have failed to make any contribution in any field whatsoever. They are no more than cheap labor for the Anglo-American West engaged in futile, slavish imitation under the pretext of prosperity and development. Let us now hear what the immortal Bengali novelist Sharath Chandra Chattopadhyay once said about the significance of using mother tongue as a medium of education, and most such precepts are concealed from public views. Here is what he said. There is no thought process without language. Meaningful thoughts for English are not possible without their language. It is just the same for Bengali also, no matter how great an English scholar that Bengali might be. These are scientific facts beyond cheap discussion. Genuinely original and fundamental concepts cannot possibly emerge without mother tongue. Fact remains, since Bengali is a Bengali and not Sahib, he may eternally wait facing the enormous gateway of Bilaiti language, but will never find the clue to original thinking. Contemporary schooled Bengali youth probably knows Michael Jackson better and might not even have heard of Sharath Chandra Chattopadhyay. It is because of this socio-cultural degradation that 130 crore Indians have made no contribution in the contemporary technological advancement. Being stripped of their sense of self-respect and identity, they are staring at the mammoth gateway of imitation Anglophonic culture and education for the last 70 years and will continue to stare and remain subservient to 6 crore English. I hope this presentation is helping you to understand the fact that The existing Anglophonic education system, designed to scavenge on Anglo American leftovers, guarantees elimination of innovation and thus removes India from competing in international market, unlike China. This explains why there is fierce resistance both inside and outside India against using mother tongue as a medium of instruction in higher education. Why ridiculous and futile arguments against the use of mother tongue is being widely publicized and propagated to confuse masses. Why mother tongue is being subtly ridiculed, degraded, and made unacceptable to public. Why precepts of all great Indian personalities in favor of using mother tongue as medium of education under pretense of devotion are being concealed from public views. I hope this presentation is helping you to understand these facts. Namaskar.